With the recent release of Super Mario Party Jamboree, there's no better time than now to rank every single game in the Mario Party franchise. But, and I need to stress this is our list. Even more so than when we rank, say, every Mario Kart game or every 3D Mario. Mario Party is super subjective because so much of what makes this local multiplayer titan of a series fun is when you're playing it and who you're playing it with. You can take one of the best Mario Party games of all time, but playing against maybe the computers won't be nearly as fun as playing the worst Mario Party game, but with a bunch of your friends. Mario Party games are more subjective and personal to rank than almost any other Nintendo game, so please let us know down in the comments below where you vehemently disagree with our list, because we have a lot of controversial picks here. Starting it off though, we're going to be ranking these games as a whole, taking into account the boards, minigames, unlockables, campaigns, side modes, etc. But the most important factor for these rankings is whether or not these games even allow you to have fun in the first place. As I said, a lot of times in Mario Party, you make your own fun with your friends, but the best Mario Party games present you and your friends with such wacky, insane, off-the-wall scenarios, whereas the more boring Mario Party games just kind of feel like playing an average board game with your friends. Again, you can still have fun with that, but that doesn't mean, in our opinion, it's a great Mario Party game. Let's start off the ranking with the worst Mario Party game, number 18, Mario Party The Top 100. This almost doesn't even count as a Mario Party game because it is just minigames. And even then, for having just minigames, there's only 100, which again, sounds like a lot, but it's basically like any other Mario Party game with maybe 20 more minigames than usual, but zero other substantial content. Its main mode, minigame match, has only one board, and it's more luck-based than anything. Everybody moves at once to reach the star, but there's so many coins that it turns the minigames completely useless, which again, that's the whole appeal of this game, is the minigames. After one or two playthroughs, this game loses pretty much its entire appeal, and the cartridge transforms itself into a paperweight. Now, all this could have maybe been acceptable and placed maybe a few spots lower on this list, if not for this final issue. This 2017 game has zero online capability. Mario Party is a multiplayer experience first and foremost, so the fact that there's no online here makes this one of the worst Mario Parties of all time, if you can even call it that. Number 17, we have Mario Party Advance. This is another barely even considered Mario Party, as it has no traditional boards and no multiplayer besides 12 or so minigames that you could actually play with the Game Boy Advance link cable. Instead, there's a main campaign where you roll dice to travel on a world map to complete story missions and occasionally play a minigame to get mushrooms. You can use one mushroom per dice roll on the world map, and if you run out of mushrooms, you have to restart the entire game. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this game isn't horrible on its own. In fact, there's a lot of fun to be had here, as the story mode has some interesting bits and the minigames can be fun occasionally, but as a Mario Party game in a Mario Party ranking, this is super underwhelming with little to no multiplayer gameplay to speak of. Not to mention, this game came out just 2 years before Mario Party DS, which we'll talk about later on, but featured not only an entire campaign, but traditional boards with multiplayer, and yeah, I don't really know what they were thinking here. Number 16 is Mario Party Star Rush. Oh, look again, yet another non-traditional Mario Party game on the 3DS. This time, instead of the normal turn-based gameplay we know and love with unique boards, distinct themes, and event spaces, everyone instead moves simultaneously once again, getting rid of the entire reason we like Mario Party in the first place. On its own, moving all at the same time might not feel that bad. It eliminates waiting through for other people to finish their turns, but due to the real-time movement, you can't strategize or plan ahead your turns because you don't know what everyone else is gonna do until your turn is already over. The items are marginally useful, to put it nicely. Once again, due to the real-time gameplay, they have very little impact and can't be used in any real strategic ways. The minigames here are a huge letdown as well. Not only are there just 53 of them, but the few we do get kind of feel watered down and generic. Although there are multiple new game modes, none stand out enough and mostly just feel like half-baked padding, and maybe if there was a traditional Mario Party mode alongside them, it would be worth it, but as is, it just feels like wasted development time. Speaking of wasted development time on side modes that stink, remember at the start when I said this video would have controversial takes? Number 15 is Super Mario Party for the Nintendo Switch. What? Oh boy, here we go. I have been on a crusade against this game throughout most of this channel's lifespan, and I would like to make it clear, I don't hate on this game just for the sole purpose of being able to hate on this game. If you scroll back on this channel, there are plenty of videos of me at 15 years old, so excited for a brand new Mario Party game to come out on my new Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately, this game stunk. First things first, let's talk about the side modes. There is technically a campaign here, it's awful, it's basically like playing free play minigames at random. Toad's Rec Room has some good ideas, but hey, drop a comment down below if you have ever played Toad's Rec Room. Again, no one played this because some of the game modes required you to have multiple Switches. What? Who is gonna have multiple Switches, multiple copies of Mario Party, and then not actually play Mario Party and match up bananas on the tablet? River Survival. This was another side mode. Great concept here. The idea of a cooperative 4-player Mario Party side mode is awesome, but there are only like 10 minigames you can play, so you repeat minigames within the same River Survival game. There's another rhythm-based minigame thing. Okay, I'm already bored of this one. The two main game modes are Partner Party and Mario Party. However, they all use the same boards, and there's only 4 of them, so the main Mario Party mode kinda sucks, because the boards are developed with Partner Party in mind, meaning they're all super small, have very grid-based structures, and are overall just not that fun. Each character having their own unique dice roll is a cool gimmick, but it's about the only thing this game does right, because actually playing Super Mario Party Jamboree comes down to this. For the first 2 or 3 turns, you're rolling to try and get to the star. By turn 4, everyone will have 7 trillion coins, because the economy in this game is absolutely busted. Unfortunately, buying stars is only 10 coins, so this entire game turns into rolling into the item shop, buying a golden pipe with your quintillion coins you own, using said golden pipe, getting a star, which again only takes 10 coins. You earn enough coins in one minigame if you win to get a star. Who thought this was a good idea? If I was going solely off of my own emotions, this would be the worst game in this list, and it wouldn't even be particularly close. The online is atrocious with horrendous lag, and you couldn't even play the actual game mode online until an update that came out like 2 years later. And overall, the sum of how bad Super Mario Party is, every single other Mario Party game on this list, in my opinion, at least gives you something unique. Top 100 has absolutely no boards, pretty much no replayability, but at least they remade 100 of the best minigames ever to hit the series. Mario Party Advanced is barely even Mario Party, but at least there's a campaign that's pretty in-depth. Even Mario Party 9 and 10, which we'll get to soon enough, that force everyone to be in the same car, at least that's unique and not something you can get in any other Mario Party. There is not one single feature in Super Mario Party that is not done 20 times better in a different Mario Party game. The only thing you could possibly say this game does better than others in the series is the character-specific dice rolls, which again is a cool gimmick, but using character-specific dice would be fun on any other board besides the 4 atrocious ones we get here. I hate Super Mario Party, but I've said that enough. Let's move on. Coming in at number 14, we have Mario Party 10. After the horrible reception of Mario Party 9 with the car mechanic essentially ruining the game, along with the Wii U flopping hard, this game needed to wow people, and it did the exact opposite. ND Cube had already heard plenty of negative feedback on the car mechanic from Mario Party 9, and there were a couple of boards in 9 that actually had hints of clever gameplay. So, if maybe they just touched it up and even had the car as an optional mode instead of replacing the regular Mario Party, maybe it could have worked here. But instead, Mario Party 10 doubled down on the worst aspects of Mario Party 9. The boards are flat out worse than its predecessor. Far more linear, less player choice, worse happening spaces, worse boss battles. Playing the Mario Party game mode in Mario Party 10 is straight up not fun. However, the only reason these boards are so basic and bland is because of the Bowser Party game mode. Speaking of which, Bowser Party is almost kinda fun if you have a group together, as there's unique gamepad only sections where Bowser has to try and trick you, like on the water level drawing. This kind of mental warfare of, oh, which path you want to take, this is fun. Unfortunately, Bowser is super OP in this game mode, as he gets way more dice than you, so Bowser will catch up to the players almost every turn, and if the player controlling Bowser is good at the minigame, you can lose almost all your team's hearts in just one minigame. It's a fine game mode, but not worth the main mode being ruined. Alright, so Mario Party 10 has the main Mario Party mode, the Bowser mode, which is creative but kind of unbalanced. What is this third mode on the menu? Oh, it's Amiibo Party, which is locked off behind Amiibo. It's also just a square you run around on. This looks like a tech demo made by a college student. Sorry, Mario Party 10, I've had fun with the Bowser mode, but it more than deserves this spot. Number 13 is Mario Party Island Tour. This game came out between Mario Party 9 and 10, and it definitely feels like it. Although there is no car mechanic in this one, the game design behind Mario Party can be felt in every board in this game. Everything here is ultra linear, with no special items or unique paths. The goal of most boards is to get to the end first, but that goes against what Mario Party is all about. That takes out the skill of maneuvering around the board to grab a star while keeping track of your coins. Some boards can do this well, having maybe one board per game that is kind of a race to the finish is a perfectly fine thing. Every single board? I don't think so. The minigames here are surprisingly really subpar. Although there are a few creative ones, with how the game is structured, minigames feel like an afterthought, especially with the entire structure of the minigame placements being changed. Instead of playing a minigame after everyone's taken a turn, it's now, for some random reason, placed randomly throughout the game every 2 turns or so. Still have no idea why they decided to do that. Although this game isn't as bad as Mario Party 10, with it having at least some interesting ideas, it ultimately didn't pay off. It's not terrible, but there are plenty of other Mario Parties more worth your time than this one. Number 12 is Mario Party 9. This is where the series first introduced Mario Party, so you might think this would be close to last place, but there are a few bright spots in this game. Although it was a bold new direction for the series, putting everyone in one car was a drastic misstep. I get that some people might have fond memories of this mechanic, but it does genuinely feel like ND Cube fundamentally misunderstands what made Mario Party even fun in the first place. With everyone forced into a car, moving together instead of separately, the boards are forced to be ultra linear, which removes items and most all strategy entirely. The main goal is to get as many mini stars as you can throughout the board in the mini games. However, this forced linearity didn't inherently make the boards awful. Each board instead was made or broken by its event spaces and board exclusive scenarios. There are a few cool mechanics in some of the boards, such as the Lava Rising in Magma Mine or Bowser Station with its 3 unique captain events, but a lot of the boards completely missed the mark and made me ask, why am I still in this car? Why is Mario Party 9 above Mario Party 10, you may ask? Well, because Bowser Party from 10 forced all the boards to be even more bare bones and linear, and also Mario Party 9 has a great variety of minigames. Some of these feel like they're straight out of the golden era of Mario Party. Ringleader, Upwards Mobility, and Peak Precision are just a few of the great minigames in this package. Mario Party 9 also introduced boss fights. Due to the linear nature of the car, there are 2 boss fights per board, with stars given out to whoever does the most damage. These totally didn't need to be included, but are a whole lot of fun and a great change of pace from the car. Overall, Mario Party 9 isn't a horrible game, just an extremely mid one that took the franchise in the completely wrong direction. Mario Party 5 isn't placed here at number 11 on this list for bad minigames or lack of substantial content, but because of one near game-breaking addition, the capsule system. The capsules in Mario Party 5 can either be used on yourself or thrown onto the board, with most of them being traps. They can range anywhere from taking coins from whoever lands on it to swapping 2 players' positions. In theory, this is a really cool concept that adds a lot of strategy, and in future games they're used really well, but Mario Party 5 is unfortunately the guinea pig for capsules. They're given away for free at multiple spots in every single board. You don't have to take them, but there's no point in not taking them, which means for just about every turn, not only do players roll the dice and move, but they're also most likely using their capsule. Not only does this extend every game by literally 10 plus minutes, but it also makes the board an absolute minefield mess to navigate. The capsule spam makes it hard to have any sort of strategy, as you have to try and keep track of all the spaces where they are, what they do, and it's just frustrating. One of the worst side effects of the capsules is that they replace most of the interesting event spaces on the boards. In all the boards in the games before Mario Party 5, there was always a central gimmick to each board. Chilly Waters has the ice breaking in the middle, Shy Guy's Jungle Jam has the mountain flood, but in Mario Party 5, all the boards feel too samey, without too many distinct events. And at first glance, from 4 to 5 feels like a huge upgrade in the visual department, and it is. We went from top-down game boards to 3D environments, but nothing happens in these boards that gives them as much gameplay personality as any of the other games before 5, and in my opinion, a lot of that's because of the capsules. It may seem like I'm trashing Mario Party 5 a ton, and I guess I just did, but I also just feel like it needs to be justified while we're placing one of the golden age Mario Party games so low on this list. Alright, number 10, we have Mario Party 3. This one might be another heater take, but I don't care. Mario Party 3 isn't bad. In fact, it's quite good. It introduced Daisy and Waluigi into the roster, added even more items, and has a good handful of iconic minigames to boot. The one thing that puts this game to the middle of the list is what makes or breaks every Mario Party game. Once again, it's the boards. I have no other way of saying this, but they are mid, just about all of them. I know we'll get it from the comments, and seriously, leave a comment down below if you think this is an egregious take, but most of the boards here, in my opinion, are just not fun to play on. With the exception of Chilly Waters, I would rather play most of the boards from any other game other than these. There are a few interesting gimmicks in each board. Woody Woods has the Monty Mole arrow mechanic, it's alright, but I just don't have that much fun on them. The story mode with the dual boards is a great addition, and once again, some of the minigames here are iconic, but that doesn't save this game from the fact that the boards are low-key ass. Sorry, Mario Party 3 fans. In many Mario Party rankings, you might see the original N64 games as the top 5 or even the top 3, but I think that's mainly due to nostalgia, and Mario Party 1 is a great example of this. Everything in Mario Party 1 is just good. Good minigames, good boards, good gameplay. It isn't until later in the series that these games started becoming great, and that's no fault to this game at all. In fact, for being the first game in the series, they really did a great job out the gate. The gameplay loop of running around a board trying to get a star while playing a minigame every turn is familiar now, but back then this was quite novel. Unfortunately, this game has definitely aged the most out of any of the games, and for obvious reasons. The main gameplay on the boards is pretty standard, although the 2D background pictures on the boards are what stand out the most when it comes to this game showing its age. The minigames, although creative and fun in their own right, also do show their age as well. Besides downright injuring players in some of the minigames, these are extremely basic due to the hardware they're working with, which pays off in some minigames but is a hindrance in others. The items are quite bare bones as well, which again makes sense, this is the first in the series. It just doesn't feel that fun when you're playing a game, get an item, and realize, oh yeah, none of the items in this game are really that impactful. Theoretically, the boards have some standouts: Peach's birthday cake, Mario's rainbow castle. These are iconic boards looking back from years down the line, but there are some straight horrible boards like Wario's Battle Canyon and Luigi's Engine Room as well, which is why I'd group them all together as just good. Overall, Mario Party 1 is a good game. We've just had so many better games which expanded upon the foundation that this game set, so it is just good. This may be another hot take, as these GameCube Mario Parties rank super high on some people's personal rankings. But Mario Party 4 is another good game in my eyes. And the reason it's not higher up is that this was the first GameCube Mario Party, but it really didn't quite feel like it took advantage of the hardware they were working with. The boards are still top-down 2D board game type boards, and the roster is the same from the third game. The minigames continued to be good, including my all-time favorite Domination, but definitely not an N64 to GameCube generational leap in improvement. Again, the graphical leap is probably the most noticeable change from the third game, with nothing really setting this one apart gameplay-wise, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. These games already had a winning formula, so updating the graphics, making some new minigames, and throwing a game on the GameCube early on isn't that bad of an idea. Seeing as how this game's successor, Mario Party 5, went a bit overboard trying to cram the new capsule system into it, that makes me appreciate this game just a little bit more for being more of the same. At number 7, we have the best of the OG N64 games, Mario Party 2. This is a huge improvement on the already solid foundation of 1, but it does kind of just feel like DLC, with it kind of playing like Mario Party more rather than a full-fledged sequel, as it came out just a year after the first. It's the same roster, the same main gameplay, but with the first game setting such a solid foundation down, just like the fourth game, there's nothing really wrong with making more of what works. This game did add a good amount of content as well. The items are by far the biggest improvement from the first, with the introduction of the skeleton key, which opens up more paths on each board, to the magical lamp, which warps you to the nearest star. The items in this game make coins feel so much more valuable, and not just, oh yeah, I better have enough to buy the star. The boards also are a great step up from an already good batch of boards from the first game. Pirate Land, Western Land, Horror Land, they all have unique gimmicks that make these boards great to revisit. The theme here is awesome. Every character changes into a different costume for each board, and the main goal is actually to defeat Bowser, which just means getting the most stars, but that's a cool way to phrase it. And while Mario Party 2 still has a little bit of the old N64 jank, it's overall a great game due to more improved minigames and boards from the first one. Number 6 is Mario Party DS, and what a beast for the first real handheld Mario Party entry. I'm not counting Advance because that's not actual Mario Party. The whole theme of DS is that Bowser shrinks the Mario Party crew down, so each board and minigame incorporates the smaller size of the characters. Standout minigames that use this small size theme well are Dust Buddies and Soap Surfers. DS actually has a whole campaign with boss fights at the end of each board, and overall, Mario Party DS is a really great package for handheld Mario Party because it actually feels like real Mario Party. Placing down hexes actually worked decently well compared to the capsule system. The game has smaller boards and faster gameplay compared to the home consoles, but that works because again, it's in handheld. It stands out as a great bite-sized Mario Party experience. Alright, now we're at the 5th best Mario Party game, and this game and all the other ones below it are basically the Mario Party formula perfected. Everything left is genuinely a great experience with very little to no flaws. Number 5 is Mario Party Superstars. This game is what Mario Party the Top 100 wishes it could be. It takes some of the best minigames from across the Mario Party franchise, and some of the best boards as well, and just gives us a classic Mario Party game. The first game to introduce full online play at launch, this one is simple, but again, no one cares if a game is missing 7,000 random side modes that no one's ever gonna play. If the main Mario Party mode is fun, it will be high on this list. This game did that perfectly. There's like no side modes at all, but the main mode is fun. The only gripe I have about this game is there are only 5 boards, which, considering that there's no unique boards here, like, come on, if you're gonna only bring back old boards, 5 is the best you can do. There was no DLC here as well, which is just a huge missed opportunity. I'm honestly of the opinion that Mario's Rainbow Castle and Western Land were originally meant for this game, but then they decided against adding them as free updates and instead packaged them in with Jamboree, but I don't know if anyone's ready for that conversation yet, so let's move on. Mario Party 7 is the 4th best Mario Party game, and it introduced some of the best additions to the Mario Party formula, such as 8-player mode, Bowser Time Spaces, and Dry Bones and Birdo as new characters. The single-player mode, Solo Cruise, although nothing groundbreaking, is a good twist to the formula, with you pitted against another CPU or player character in minigames, and the win conditions of each board are changed. Mario Party 7 also had some of the best boards in the entire franchise, with iconic ones such as Windmillville, Bowser's Enchanted Inferno, and Pagoda Peak. The minigames are great too, with Take Me Home as a great standout. Mario Party minigames through the years have never really been outright bad, but Mario Party 7 and the rest of the games we talk about here really hit it out of the park in terms of creative and brilliantly executed minigames. Overall, Mario Party 7 strikes a perfect balance of fun minigames, creative boards, and just the right amount of innovation to the Mario Party formula. Coming in at number 3, we have Mario Party 6. Mario Party 6's central theme is the day-night system. Every 3 turns, the map switches from daytime to nighttime, which changes something about every board, like blocking off paths or causing stars to be cheaper or more expensive. It's a great idea that's executed really well, and I hope the mechanic comes back in either just one board or in an entire future Mario Party game. The minigames here are once again some of the best in the series, with standouts like Lift Leapers, where you have to race to the end of a platforming level, or Rocky Road, where you and a teammate punch rocks that block your car as fast as you can. With all the boards focusing around this day-night mechanic, the game could have easily stumbled like Mario Party 5 did with its introduction of the capsule system, but instead, not only did they nail the day-night mechanic, but they also refined the capsule system, making it more rare and tweaking their effects. This makes it so you can actually plan and strategize around the capsules, when to grab one, where to place it, and planning out your next turn accordingly, all while having to keep in mind that the board will likely change from day to night. The capsules feel like a true addition of strategy rather than a mechanic that bogged down the rest of the gameplay, so with the great minigames, creative new mechanics, and tweaks to old systems, Mario Party 6 is definitely one of the best games in the franchise, but we still have 2 that are better. Number 2 is Mario Party Jamboree. I'm gonna be honest, this game has really grown on me. The more and more I play it, the more satisfied I am, and the more I feel confident in saying this is Mario Party at its best. Now, the side modes, again, they kinda stink. Coopathlon is actually pretty fun, but it being single player hampers its replayability in my opinion. However, Toad's Item Factory, Rhythm Kitchen, Paratroopa's Flight School, and Bowser's Kaboom Squad, in my humble opinion, are not worth playing more than once. All of them are incredibly boring, lack any replay value, and just are not fun. However, the actual main Mario Party mode is some of the best it's ever been. I'm not going to talk about this game too much because I've released an entire video going over the good, the bad, and the ugly of this game, but the main Mario Party mode, all in all, is pretty awesome. The boards are incredible. These are probably the 7 best new boards we've gotten within the last decade, all packaged together in one game. And yes, I'll say that again, 7 boards. I don't think that's an absolutely crazy thing to ask for, but it's not like we ever really got 7 boards or even 6 boards from the other ND developed Switch Mario Party games, so having 7 here is awesome and makes replayability so much better. The ally system, while a little broken, adds an interesting wrinkle to every game you play. Switching between regular rules and pro rules, again, adds more replayability. There are a ton of different minigames, and while unfortunately a lot of them are allocated to 8-player minigames for Bowser's Kaboom Squad or single-player minigames for Coopathlon, there are enough here that, mixed with the new minigame voting feature, allow you to not feel like you're replaying too many of them. The economy is pretty much entirely fixed. The items are some of the best in the entire series. There are the most characters to pick from out of the entire series. Yeah, Mario Party Jamboree is an absolute banger, but it does not take the number 1 slot. You know what this game is. At number 1, we have Mario Party 8. I will glaze this game forever. Again, this is our list. We're choosing what's at the top, and I'm choosing Mario Party 8, baby. Is this going up here just because it's the Mario Party game I played the most as a kid? I don't know. That probably has something to do with it, but I will stand on business. I genuinely do think this is probably the best Mario Party game on account of a couple of things. One, the boards. Shy Guy's Perplex Express, Goomba's Booty Boardwalk, Koopa's Tycoon Town, all of these boards are absolute bangers. Every board in this game is super unique, whether it's the King Boo board where you never know where you're gonna go, or Bowser's Warped Orbit where you don't get any stars but in fact steal stars using this game's version of items which are known as candy. Speaking of which, the candy in this game is awesome. A lot of them have cute little transformations for your character. So again, the boards are absolute bangers, all with unique gimmicks, happening spaces, etc. The items known as candy are phenomenal. I guess that only leaves the mini games, and good lord, the mini games here are awesome. I'm gonna say this once so you guys hopefully can all understand me. Motion control mini games, when done right, are the best possible thing for Mario Party, as it lowers the barrier of entry, meaning anyone can play this game. Anyone could play Wii Sports. You didn't know how to use a controller to play Wii Sports. You shook the controller, swung the bowling ball, I don't know, you just use it. It's intuitive. Mario Party 8's mini games, at least the motion-based ones, are the same sort of thing, allowing this game to be played with anyone, your family, grandma, friends who don't play video games, whoever. They can all play Mario Party 8. Because Mario Party is just a board game with mini video game elements sprinkled throughout, keeping those video game elements but removing the barrier of entry of actually having to know how to use a controller and play video games turns Mario Party 8 into one of the most interactive board game video game hybrid experiences I have ever played. I absolutely love this one. It's a complete banger and definitely my personal favorite Mario Party game of all time. But let me know down in the comments below what yours is. I'm sure this video was very controversial and I'm excited to read all your lists down below as well. If you want to see another extremely controversial list, click the video on screen right now to see me rank every single minigame in Mario Party Jamboree. Again, if you thought this list was controversial, ooh boy, you'll have fun over there.